Según el artículo 22 de la Constitución de Colombia, la paz es un derecho y un deber de obligatorio cumplimiento. En India, aunque no se menciona explícitamente la paz, el artículo 51A menciona que es deber de todo ciudadano promover la armonía y el espíritu de hermandad común entre todos los pueblos de la India.
La paz abruma la incoherencia de lo que debería pasar y de lo que sucede a nuestro alrededor.
Los procesos de transformación son extensos, complejos y demandantes.
Además, sería muy extraño pensar en la paz solo hacia afuera sin pensar en la paz interior.
I can't, work for peace outside of my house if there's chaos in my house myself.
Por eso te queremos compartir los procesos personales de Simran y Vinayak, los dos fellows de la India en Colombia. Conoce a Simran, una mujer de Jammu y Cachemira. Amante de los gatos y devota defensora de la salud mental infantil, Simran pone al servicio sus habilidades de facilitación y educación en ECRA Foundation, la organización que preside. Su misión, ofrecer un refugio emocional para los niños y niñas de su región, donde los conflictos a menudo dejan cicatrices invisibles. Vinayak, de Nueva Delhi, es antropólogo y experto en comunicaciones. Fundador de Storytelling for Peace y Comes for a Better World, canaliza su pasión por los derechos humanos en iniciativas que buscan transformar la sociedad a través de la comunicación. Aunque los fellows vienen del mismo país, sus historias reflejan caminos completamente distintos.
Junto a las historias personales de Simran y Vinayak, desmitificamos la construcción de paz interior.
1. La paz interior no es ausencia de dificultades.
So I learned some tragic news, something had happened in the family. That was the time that I had been practicing meditation, journaling for years. But then this thing happened and I had trouble getting out of bed. I would have randomly have bouts of crying, and meditation I could not even think of doing that. I mean, I was not in that state to even do that.
When I was young, I had enormous and deep-seated anger issues. Part of which emerged because of my parents' divorce. Acknowledging difficult topics, engaging in discussions related to difficult topics, either in my interpersonal relationships or even acquaintances, is difficult for me. Because controlling my temper, my temperament, is a steep hill for me to climb personally.
2. Una vez se consigue la paz interior, solo nos pasan cosas buenas.
I thought I had processed all of this. Why am I feeling all of these feelings again? I'm supposed to be happy and good. I'm supposed to be productive and focus on my work. So I'm for sure not the happiest person. I think it's an ongoing process. Like we say that peace building is an active process. You can't say that I did this and that and now it's done and now everything is sorted.
3. Solo hay una fórmula para conseguir la paz interior.
The ones that are most important for me are meditation and practicing gratitude. Writing down 3 things from my day that made me happy, that I'm grateful for. And generally I start with the intention of writing 3 things, but the list never ends with 3.
Right? When support is available, take it. And there is always support available. There is always help at hand. All you need to do is call out. It's not easy for me to do that, but I do try.
And another exercise which I again swear by is name it to tame it. Just sit and name that emotion. What is it that you're feeling? So when we name emotions, I think their intensity significantly decreases and they don't overwhelm us as they were before.
Everybody is fighting their own battle. Everybody has got their own tools, techniques, measures, and defense mechanisms when it comes to engaging with issues in their life.
La construcción de paz no es un proceso en solitario.
My maternal grandfather lived with my mother and I for the last 2 years of his life. those 2 years, I think, were incredibly inspiring and transformative for me to understand how my grandfather bent over backwards, not only to support his own family, but also his marriage and children born from that marriage. As a man, I think he is one of the few that I genuinely look up to, seek inspiration from, and remember when things get tough.
5. No se puede aprender de paz en un lugar altamente violento.
One thing that I really admire is that a lot of people here talk about peace building, and appreciate this work. In Jammu and Kashmir, where I come from, there's not much awareness and the recognition of the relevance of this work. And I really wish we could incorporate some of these practices back in my country. Colombia es muy bien. Las personas son amables.
In short, acknowledgement. In India, I have found that people in my immediate circle and beyond have quite a dismissive or a sweep under the rug attitude. So there is a greater sense of acknowledgement here. There is a greater sense of a greater willingness to discuss and describe events that happened, and even engage in the grieving process when it comes to either their own selves or their families and loved ones, and how they were affected by events over the last few decades.
Marina Carieta y Cecil Barbeito hablan del concepto de paz positiva, que busca la armonía consigo mismo, con la naturaleza y con las personas que nos rodean en el marco de la no violencia.
For me, peace means acceptance. By acceptance, I don't mean like taking a passive stance at everything, but accepting everything as it is, be it the situations around us or our emotions and feelings, like just accepting them as they are and taking action to change those if you want, but from a space of calm.
Así como con Simran y Vinayak, las historias personales tienen huellas que nos hacen quienes somos.
I work in communications for developmental issues, for human rights issues, for peace building, etc., precisely for this reason. Inspiring people through and sharing with them tools and techniques that have worked for other societies and communities that they are not related to by any yardstick or stretch of imagination is kind of my life's mission and purpose. But the battle is far from over.
So it's like if I don't feel peace myself, but I work outside, I feel kind of a hypocrite. I'm not saying everything is always perfect, but I always strive to work in all the areas.
La construcción de paz no es de un solo tipo de perfil, ya que este implica una decisión y un gran esfuerzo para salir de los ciclos de violencia.
Entonces, te queremos invitar a que escuches las historias de construcción de paz interior de quienes te rodean y a compartir la tuya también. ¿Quién sabe a quién puedas inspirar con tu testimonio?
Para construir paz, somos capaces.